top 3 most hated NBA players right now. The NBA has seen snakes, TV shows for departures, and some very dirty and aggressive play from their stars. These stars are free to do whatever they want, but that doesn't mean that they can do it without making people feel a type of way. The top 3 players have made some incredibly challenging decisions that people will hate for as long as they can hate. Not every person is going to agree with a single decision, and some fans built such a connection to a star player just to be heartbroken when the player leaves. Here are the top 3 most hated NBA players in the game right now. There are no surprises on this list. Keep watching to find out who the 3 most hated NBA players are right now. LeBron James. Let's get James out of the way. People hate James because he's the greatest of all time. People love to hate. He's the self-proclaimed king. LeBron gave himself this nickname and even tattooed it on himself to prove to everyone that he wasn't playing around. He was all about his ego coming out of high school. Before playing in the NBA, James was already King James. LeBron had always said that he based his pregame routine from Kevin Garnett's. Some people don't appreciate the times he would throw powder in the air before games. James has since stopped the pregame ritual, but has thought about bringing it back. To most people, LeBron does his pregame ritual because he's all about being the center of attention. He's a flashy guy. When he decided to end the pregame ritual, LeBron stated that he wouldn't go through with his usual pregame routine because he wants to be more focused on the task at hand. People question if powder throwing could really throw him off his game. James is also disliked due to his constant ESPN coverage. It's not because he's a bad person, it's just because ESPN believes that James is the only thing people want to talk about, whether it's the NBA season or not. 75% of the time we're clear, but the other 25% of the time on SportsCenter or any other ESPN show is given to LeBron. People hate the coverage so much that we've seen tweets asking ESPN to change their network to JamesPN. And don't forget when James is in action. The bottom score bug will highlight the games he's playing in and show how many points he has in the game, even if it's 2 minutes into the first quarter. Have you ever watched ESPN's top 10 highlights? LeBron will be the #1 play even when there are plenty of other better plays for the day. While this is highly debatable, LeBron is said to be unclutch. Some people can't stand the talk about LeBron and his greatness due to the fact that they believe he never hits big-time shots in big moments, especially in the playoffs. He'll pass away the last shot or be unable to finish games on his own, so they say. Then, of course, people really hated James for leaving Cleveland the first time. When James moved on to the Miami Heat, people believed James had given up on Cleveland, and people legitimately hated on him for that. Remember this comment? "I got a goal, and it's a huge goal, and that's to bring an NBA championship here to Cleveland, and I won't stop until I get it." He did get Cleveland a title, but it took his second stint and a couple more talented players around him. When he left Cleveland and made that promise, he made a promise to a city that hasn't won a championship since 1964. It wasn't the Cavs, it was the Browns. People really believed James couldn't handle being the man for the Cavaliers in his first go-around. Instead, he dipped Cleveland for 2 superstars in Miami. Remember when LeBron was dunked on by Jordan Crawford? Crawford, who was a collegiate player, dunked on LeBron during a pickup game at James's camp. But instead of allowing the tape to be released, James and Nike kept the video under wraps. Reports were that James didn't want people seeing him getting dunked on, which was interesting. Lastly, James is absolutely hated for making a TV show about his decision. It would have been cool if he stayed with Cleveland, but instead, he went on TV to say he was leaving his hometown. When he said that he'll take his talents to South Beach, that's when most people had enough of the show. Some even went as far as to say that the show put a dent in his legacy. However, some agreed that his ego grew so he was happy. Although the decision proceeds went to the Boys and Girls Club, it didn't change the fact that it really wasn't an admirable gesture to some people's eyes. Well, guess what? It wasn't. Kevin Durant. Former Oklahoma City Thunder forward and superstar Kevin Durant lost to the Golden State Warriors in a Game 7 Western Conference Finals. The Warriors were coming off the winningest season in NBA history. However, the Warriors lost to LeBron's Cleveland Cavaliers, and so Durant gave up on the Thunder and joined the Warriors the next season, eventually winning a title. Former NBA player and now analyst Matt Barnes believed that Kevin Durant is probably the most hated player in the NBA after that move. Matt Barnes played with Durant on the Warriors during the 2016-2017 season, and believes people still haven't forgiven Durant for leaving the Oklahoma City Thunder and joining the Warriors in 2016. What Kevin Durant has proven is he's probably the most hated player in the game, Barnes said on FS1's Undisputed. KD is in his prime right now. He's probably the most efficient scorer the league has ever seen. Father Time is undefeated, and you can see LeBron is slowing down. After joining the Warriors, Kevin Durant won 2 straight NBA championships and Finals MVPs. Before Durant's injury with the Warriors, plenty of people had Durant as their best player in the NBA. However, Durant dipped the Warriors and is now a Brooklyn Nets problem. Let's see if he can win there with Kyrie. Again, when LeBron left the Cavaliers in 2010 to be with Wade and Bosh in Miami, he was the most hated player in the NBA at the time. James was booed in every arena after doing that. Durant's escape from Oklahoma City was worse. Durant walked by a female Oklahoma City Thunder fan who had an unrolled toilet paper with his own face on each square. Thunder fans were still chanting, "Cupcake, cupcake," when Durant made the switch. In his first game back at Oklahoma City, it wasn't just the fans that didn't appreciate Durant. His former teammates weren't too thrilled with his return either. "There's definitely emotion," said Durant after scoring 34 points in a win over the Thunder. "I played here for 8 years. There's no getting around that." He heard the Thunder fans and their disapproval of his move. He's been heckled there ever since. The Warriors won a couple championships with Durant being the MVP. What would have happened if the Thunder beat the Warriors in Game 7? Would he still be a Thunder star? Also, fans didn't like his lack of communication with Westbrook about his departure. There was plenty of trash talk between these two when they first met on the court. When asked if he would change anything about his departure after the game, Durant just said, no. In both games that season against the Thunder, the Warriors blew out the Thunder with Durant leading the way. Of course, Thunder fans around the world came to the arena with clever signs and plenty of creative ways to boo him. Former Thunder center Kendrick Perkins used to call his teammates cupcakes for being soft, and Westbrook posted a picture of many cupcakes the day Durant left Oklahoma City. So as soon as Durant walked onto the floor for pregame shooting, Thunder fans who were already in the audience chanted cupcake. He likely didn't hear the noise with headphones on his ears. One fan actually dressed up like it was Halloween. He dressed up as a mammoth yellow cupcake with Durant's name and number 35 stitched on it. Durant still wasn't bothered, but the hate was real. "I've been called worse in my life," Durant said about the cupcake chant. "I was counted out before I was even born." One fan wrote a t-shirt that read 35 minus 35 equals 0, in reference to Durant and Westbrook's jersey numbers respectively. One post read, "I trust Russia more than I trust KD." And another poster showed a picture of teammate Draymond Green holding the belly of his infant son's mother when she was pregnant, with Durant's face superimposed on her body. One of the biggest and well-known Thunder fans, Rich Taylor, left all his Durant jerseys on his downtown Oklahoma City doorstep and put a for sale sign on his lawn on July 4th. Taylor was seen passing out t-shirts for Durant's return that read "Coward" with a capital K and a capital D at the end, on the front of the shirt with a cupcake on the back. Taylor might have used some curse words. Draymond Green swears he heard Taylor call him some disrespectful names. Green has had his own problems on the court. "That guy was disrespectful to us the entire night," Green said. "Cheer, heckle all you want, but don't be disrespectful. Calling guys P-words and all that stuff? Get over there, little boy. He was disrespectful the entire night. This ain't the ancient times. Slave days are over." Taylor responded and said that he taunted Durant without cussing or crossing the line. He continued to object that he never said anything racist or vulgar during the game, and that security would have ejected him if he did. "I wish I could have cussed out Green, but one word and they would have tossed me out of the arena," Taylor told The Undefeated. "The only person that used that kind of language was KD toward me. But Warriors coach Steve Kerr said I deserved it for riding Durant all game, and he was right. As far as anything racial, that's just a millionaire whose skin I got under a little too easy." Because Durant and Westbrook didn't like each other at the time, it added fuel to the fire. Fans were going to be on Westbrook's side and hate Durant. Draymond Green. Of course, Draymond Green is one of the best two-way players in the NBA. However, he's also probably the most hated and misunderstood. Green has managed to frustrate every player that he has defended or went up against in a basketball game. He's a guy where if he's on your team, you're going to love him, but if he's not, you're going to hate him. The rest of the league and their fans really hate him. Since Draymond was drafted, he has vowed to be a man on a mission. Green has gained more of a reputation year after year by winning titles with help from Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant. His grittiness helped him get voted Defensive Player of the Year not too long ago. Green is very aggressive, especially on the defensive end. Draymond seems like the bully of the NBA. He's had plenty of accidental incidents that were pretty dirty when watching film. In 2016, Draymond accidentally kicked Oklahoma City center Steven Adams in the groin. Some believe the kick was intentional, and some believed it wasn't. Either way, Draymond wasn't ejected from the game. Green commented after the game and said that his leg extends when he jumps to block the ball or shoot. He was fine for the incident. However, the incident occurred another time in the same series, against Adams, where he was kneed in the groin. Draymond is extremely confident on the court with his abilities as a basketball player. Sometimes that might rub the wrong way. In the 2018 playoffs when the Warriors took on the Pelicans, Rajon Rondo got into a shouting match with Draymond. It almost turned physical, and both players got a technical foul. Rondo isn't well liked either in the NBA, by the way. After that game, Charles Barkley insisted that someone needed to punch Green in the face. That's a little harsh there, Charles. Barkley has been a critic of the Golden State franchise and all their players, and has talked about violence against Draymond Green more than once. Draymond and Barkley seem to have personal problems with each other, but whenever Barkley is close to Draymond, nothing ever happens. However, if Barkley really has those thoughts, Draymond is really that hated. In a recent interview with Warriors superstar Kevin Durant, Charles attempted a controversial question when asking Durant if Draymond was annoying. Durant told Barkley to ask Draymond himself. Barkley and plenty of fans believe that Draymond is indeed annoying, but his play does speak for itself. Draymond has a big ego and plenty of drive in how he plays. He's very aggressive and joins the list of many of the top players in the league in plenty of different statistics. Green has since grown up in his years in the NBA. No player can provoke him into stupid technical fouls. Don't get me wrong, there will be times where he'll get a technical foul and act crazy, but he's improved throughout the years for his own team. You can tell Draymond doesn't care what anyone thinks about him. He goes about his business, and that has helped the Warriors in the long run with winning titles. He's the glue that the Warriors have needed. He'll trade the hate for a championship ring. Many players would. And seriously, Draymond Green plays a little dirty. Many fans believe he's a dirty basketball player. For some players, though, they play so hard that they don't realize what they're doing until it's too late. Is dirty just being overly aggressive? Each team has that do-it-all player that can help win games by doing the dirty work.